Ready, aim, release! Anyone see my mammoth? Hello! We are back for another week. This week with no Carlo, which to everybody's surprise is probably a great thing. Everyone's happy. But I am joined by two very different people, many of which probably haven't seen on the channel before. I have this guy above me. I'll do above. I've got Luke. And over on the other side, joining me probably for the whole show because he's an idiot and thinks that 5 hours sitting to me live is a good idea. Kieran, otherwise known as Scaddman, you probably have heard of seen him or heard of him around. So today we are all talking about Welsh Songwriters and Fire, right?
Oh yes.
That we are.
PT Cymru, let's do it.
I was going to go away today and learn some Welsh greetings, and then I realised I'd, just like my usual poor pronunciation, I would probably butcher that too. So
I got excited then. I thought we were going to be speaking a bit of Gymraeg then. Da iawn, Garchen. Let's do it.
It's only you can speak Welsh. You're lucky to get a Highland and a Diolch from me.
Yeah.
So, that's about it. Like.
That's fine. I feel like if you're here to represent Wales just as much as Luke is, and you also can't speak Welsh, that feels like somewhat, you know.
Champion.
All right then. So we'll start off with yourself, Kieran. Obviously, I know who you are. I've met you. You've played plenty of Songwriters and Fire around the UK. Do you want to introduce yourself? You were here.
Everyone.
Now you're up there.
No. Yeah, here you go. King of the castle, top of the chops. Anyway, hey everyone. I'm Scaddman. Literally been playing the game now 3 years. Got introduced to the game. Duke's Gaming. Yeah, Luke who's online and Byron. And here we are 3 years later. Got the GT on the horizon and a charity event on the horizon. So it's loving life right now. So it's all good. It's all good. Mm-hmm.
How did you get into the game? Was it just luck?
Massive Game of Thrones fan from the TV show. And then literally my brother-in-law grabbed me and went, I've got something that you'll love. And literally just took me down the shop. And the rest is pretty much history after that. And I haven't seen my brother-in-law since. So, so yeah, there we go.
You traded your brother-in-law for a Songwriters and Fire.
And this amazing community that we got. So.
I think it was a fair swap, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just really hope his brother-in-law doesn't listen.
Sam's not listening. It's fine. He won't have time.
All right then. Awesome. And what about yourself, Luke?
But similar sort of story in the sense that it must be about. Well, when was the Kickstarter? 3-4 years?
19.
No, was it that long ago?
No.
So some of the lads in the gaming community had bought in the Kickstarter. I came sort of relatively late in that sense, so it was just after the Kickstarter launched. And it was mucking around with the mountain that rides. I was like, Lannisters are really cool. Let's go Lannisters. And then I spent 3 years not winning a single game. But I stuck with them. And to this day, I have played Lannisters and... there's a whole story about that, which we might get into. You never know, but yeah, it's been Lannisters for a very long time now.
I mean, I'm gonna have to ask. You've probably seen the stats rankings, right? Let's just pull them up there. Lannisters currently not looking the healthiest.
No, come on, because 8 is best, right? That's how this ranking system works. Yeah, so we're like second from top. That's how it works.
Yeah. We'll go for that. Yeah, the bigger
Super 8.
Yeah.
Magic 8.
Yeah. That's the ELO offset. You have to play with like a -24 rating in order for it to be a fair game for your opponent, right? So yeah, that's how it works.
Absolutely.
Cool, awesome. Right then. So obviously you're here to talk about the Welsh GT that is coming up later this year, and not just the Welsh GT, but other events happening in. Am I right in saying Pontypool? It is still in Pontypool. You haven't changed place, right?
Still
Yeah.
there, still going strong,
Yeah.
building the community every time, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Which is good to hear. Which is good to hear.
Mm.
So, the Welsh GT. What's going on?
Well, this came about. I think it's fair to rest the blame on this on Kieran's shoulders. I think. I mean, we've been doing tournaments for over 3 years. I think. Really, as soon as we started as a store, we've been doing tournaments. So the likes of Ross and Kieran and Steve, loads of the Welsh boys. We've been playing together for quite some time now, which is great. And it got to the point where I think it was last year when Scotland had theirs, and Kieran and I just got chatting, and I said, why don't we do a Welsh one? It's only fair. London have theirs. Scotland as a whole have theirs. I think it's only fair that. I mean, I'd even go as far to say we've got one of the stronger communities in Wales for Game of Thrones. Let's go ahead and be the ones that do the GT Cymru. And yeah, lo and behold, we actually did it, which is scary.
You never know. Honestly, you never know until you try it, right? How god awfully hard it is to get some stuff sorted, and how easy it is to get other bits sorted, and then how ridiculously scary it is with actual players turning up or not turning up, as the case may be, right? Sometimes you're like, oh, it's fine, we'll get like 80 players, and then you look and go, shit, we've got 10. Other times you look, oh, we'll get 20 players easy, and you look at your list and how have we got 40? Where did they come from?
What are we going to do now?
Yeah.
Literally could be a baptism of fire. Baptism of fire.
Yeah.
But no, it's good.
No, I'm looking forward to it as another event, and I think it as somebody who grew up and like at university, I kind of like experienced the idea of having effectively like events in the various things I've done always came in threes, and you typically have one in London, you used to have one in Cardiff, and then there might be one in like the middle area. Typically Nottingham was a popular area, but there was three kind of like events that you'd go to that made up the kind of calendar. And then in other things I've done, like there'd be something, as you say, something in Wales, something in Scotland, something typically in England, which would usually be in London, but sometimes more closer to Birmingham. It always makes sense to finish like the triumvirate, if you will, of the three kind of countries, if you will, of the UK. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it really does give us this kind of like, we've got one in Scotland, we'll have one in Wales, we'll have one in London. These are your three big events. Go to these three big events if you're really keen on the game, and then obviously you've got your locals as well. So yeah, I think making that third one in the series, if you will, is spot on.
Get the Tri Nations going on. So that's the thing.
God, yeah.
That's what we need.
Tri Nations, three events. Oh, three. We need 3 teams. Can we get 3 teams of like 10 players? Do you think?
Oh my God, yes. Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That would be like just a massive team event. No one cares who wins or loses as long as your country comes top, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. We should definitely think of something like this, because that would be some sort of climactic event of the year. It'd be amazing.
I have to admit, when it comes to things like the Six Nations, I have to admit I will support England. And you obviously have to support Italy, because Italy are just so bad that they need all the help they can get. But when it comes to where are Wales on my supporting list, they are like at the bottom with France.
Nice.
Yeah, so
smoothly done.
it might be quite a testy tournament if we do a team tournament like that. I can imagine me getting the boxing gloves out if I'm not careful. Come on, I'll take it.
I wouldn't have any fleur-de-lis I can paint on my Lannisters, because they're red.
God. All right, should we get into the event itself then? Should we get into the event? So, 16th and 17th of July this year, obviously. So that puts us just over 2 months out,
7,
right?
12 weeks.
Yeah,
7, 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Obviously in Pontypool, like we said before, 40 point event as is kind of standard for the competitive scene, and you've got space for 30 players. Is this actually happening at the Duke's Gaming store you've got there, Luke?
Sadly not. I wish it could. We're not quite there for size. We could probably do about 12, maybe 16 if you're really friendly with each other. But we had to outsource a venue for this, and we found a fantastic place. It's just been renovated during the COVID outbreak, so this place is plush. So nice, so welcoming as well. Got a beautiful big car park hidden in the middle of Pont Newydd, so just up the road from the shops, like 5 minutes from the shop, if that. It's a really nice place.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome, especially if it's central locations like that.
Got it all to ourselves, and we as well all weekend.
Oh yeah,
which is really
absolutely.
good,
yeah. The whole weekend completely booked for us. It's really exciting. Nice little kitchen on the side. There's a stage which we're thinking about keeping the stage up just to put like the top 3 tables. So they're properly positioned above everyone else.
Wow. And also, so lowly peasants can't see what the people are playing, right? They can't They can't see it when the pros start whipping out those extra endless hordes from their armpits like they normally do. Wow. Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm really happy about the fact you've got a kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm well up for just if you want to make your food, there's like a kitchen there. And just be like, right, well, I can bring something in and microwave it and not feel like an absolute idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And there's actually toilets inside, which is amazing for us in Wales. It's fantastic.
Oh dear, yeah. You really are still stuck in the medieval ages.
Selling it.
I really understand why you like Game of Thrones, you guys now. It feels like home away from home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Fishguard colorized. It's wonderful.
All right then. So, cool. Now ticket prices are looking at £45. It's a 2-day event. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, of course it is. I don't know why I had to ask that. I know that. So yeah, the £45 for the 2 days, and yeah, I think that's fairly straightforward. Outside from that, no questions about that really. That is just fairly standard. You mentioned obviously the venue being central location, which is fantastic. Great access for people coming in on public transport, right? Easy access as well there, which is great. I'm just reading through the player pack at this point. Accommodation, I imagine there's plenty in Pontypool. I've never been. So,
yeah. It's a very small town in comparison to something like Cwmbran or Newport. It's in that sense, but it's very close to the motorway, which is great. So if you're driving in, you literally take a right once you get over the border, and you're within the confines of the area. So that's easy enough. Trains and such are pretty direct. If you change at Newport, you can get into Cwmbran pretty easily, which is the town just south of Pontypool. Mm-hmm. I think if people are struggling for transport, I would say reach out to us. We're obviously more than happy to do shuttle runs if that's the case. I don't mind running up and down on the morning, grabbing a few of you at a time. It's not a problem. We've got a few of the lads who've got some bigger vehicles. We can get down the tractor, get you in the trailer, be absolutely fine, no issues.
Absolute shuttle runs and absolute carting people and a load of some fire gear up a hill. That's what I imagine. In the back of like a flatbed or something. Awesome. Yeah, awesome stuff. All right then. So, schedule. You've done the interesting thing that I was going to ask you about. You've announced not just how many rounds it's going to be. Obviously, it's 6 rounds. You've announced the game modes. A bazillion years away from the actual event itself happening, which is, really, I think I personally prefer it. I prefer knowing what game modes I'm going to go and play, and obviously I get a chance to then make lists to suit that. What were your thoughts around that?
Do you want me to jump in on that?
Yeah, go for it.
100%. This is just to confirm. Kieran made this pack because he is a wonderful human being, and obviously much more skilled in the tournament scene than I am because I play amateurs. But yeah, Kieran, go for it, mate. You tell me what's going on.
So the simple reason is it's just not to have a carbon copy of like the Winter GT or GT London. So it's just 6 game modes that are slightly different, and there's no, you can see there's no mission deck in there at all. But yeah, we're just going for something different. We're just being upfront. This is what you play. Come along and enjoy yourself. And there's nothing to hide there. Just come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
I mean, to be fair, that is the best way for it, right? Being open up front and just, not having to have that discussion or that debate beforehand. People will always have the discussion and debate if there's things they don't like. We've had it with the GT, we've had it with other events as well. Yeah, I mean, just choosing 6 game modes is absolutely fine. It is interesting you went for no secret missions. Is that just from your personal perspective, Kieran? You're not a fan of them, or do you think they're slow to play or something?
No. I'm a fan of them. I just, GT's what, after this 2-3 months out, it's just not running the same event.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, I'm best guessing that the GT will have those game modes just to do something different, bit of variety, spice of life and all that. So why not?
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's cool. And it's a good mix of game modes for the 3 days as well. 2 days, sorry. 3 game modes across each day.
Yeah.
So you're not playing like 2 of the 5 objective style ones or 2 of the 3s, or you've got the real mix across each day as well, which I think is actually quite a good spread. I've seen some events where you play like Game of Thrones followed by Honed and Ready, which, okay, they're very different game modes, but they feel similar. To have them game after game is frustrating to some extent. But yeah, so it's nice to see that mix up as well. Cool. I'm guessing it's the standard 2-list format, but you have chosen to go for random terrain. Do you like random terrain?
Do you know what? When I went, the first time I ever played it properly was when I went to Scotland for the Always Winter, and I enjoyed it. So I thought, why not? Again, and just gone with it. So yeah,
we had fun, didn't we, at the last store championship, didn't we? With you were having a bit of a chat about it, which was quite, well, I say chat. It was quite funny. One was for, one was for against, and it was it was an interesting conversation, I thought. What's your opinion, Mickey? What do you think?
I mean, I've got 2 schools of thought. Interestingly, I am massively in favour of Chosen. I believe that choosing terrain is a important skill. That knowing what terrain is good for you in the matchup and knowing what terrain is bad for you, knowing where that terrain should go and how that terrain crafts itself into making a game plan, I believe all has a place in your list building and also your matchup understanding. That being said, people have talked about the pros and cons of being able to take a random piece of terrain and build your strategy and game plan around that, and being ultimately able to adapt to a given style of map that might not necessarily be what you would normally deploy yourself. My thing with that is that, people say, random's more like it would be in the real world. Fundamentally disagree with that, because you don't randomly choose terrain in the real world. There's a lot to be said about picking your battles on a terrain that suits you and your field. So medieval battles were never just, that river's in a really inconvenient place, we better fight here then. No. Yeah, so I mean, I do think personally I prefer picked, but I don't think terrain random is bad. My only thing with random in an event is simply because not like the amount of time it takes to randomize the terrain and then place it just adds like 3 minutes into the game that I don't really think adds enough to warrant doing it normally. That's the only thing. But really, I'm not fussed.
Not fussed.
I'll play with whatever, Doesn't really matter to me.
We'll have to randomize it like Byron does, Kieran. You know, he just like throws it up in the air and wherever it lands, that's where it goes.
That's where it goes. That's it.
That is actually interesting. As much as that is a joke, I do actually think there's some credence to that as a way of doing it.
That's what he does.
He might be onto something, because that's truly random terrain. Anyway, cool. Cool. Nothing there, that's surprising. Everything there is fairly standard. I was going to ask, because, obviously, Luke, yourself, you run a store, which we'll get onto in due course. Where's your decision when it comes to legality, if you will? Are you saying UK only releases? Are you saying, you know what, bring whatever you've got, every toy is viable? What is your kind of stance on that yourself?
In an absolute, it's walking on broken glass in that sense. You just there is no right answer, because someone along the line will go, well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
So I think we've drawn the line now, Key? Have we said?
Yeah, we've gone with UK releases out on the app, and then basically what's on stats, and then even playing field, and everyone knows where they are. It's the best way for us, I think, going forward. So that's what we're doing. We've had many discussions, and we were going to bring all sorts of ideas, but try to standardise it. And I think we've gone with the right one for us anyway.
Because Heroes is updated, so Heroes 3 is now legal, I suppose, in our tournament. So that's the real. We were very lucky with that when that update came through, and oh, thank God.
You know what's randomly not legal for UK releases?
Go for it.
Hero Box 2 for Free Folk and Night's Watch. Oh. Can we have 2? No, you can have 3 or 1. No 2.
Yeah.
No
giants for you, fans. No giants for you. Yeah, Fuzz is our local Free Folk gamer, and he is screaming every time there's a new release. Where's my Free Folks 2, man?
It is actually very frustrating, because, everyone can run different lists, but I think if you're going to run 2 different lists, running like a giant theme list versus like an infantry theme list of that particular faction is important. And Night's Watch losing out on Cold Hands, who is probably the best model that they've ever made, and you can do so much with him, and you just kind of like, oh yeah, I've got him, but he just has to sit here, and I'm not allowed to use him. Sad face.
No comment.
Is that you, Kieran? Is that you? Are you sat there with this amazing Cold Hands, and you're just kind of like, ah?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's understandable though. I'm very much on the train. You said broken glass. Very much on the train of UK release only is, it is the most logical and the most reasonable thing. And ultimately, you said it before, Luke. You're a store. You don't want to encourage people buying overseas necessarily. Ultimately, we want to keep the stores alive in the UK. But it is also difficult when you could potentially see something on a CMON order form or an Asmodee order form, order it, and not get it for 12 months. So
Absolutely, and it's not too bad because we run a website as well, so you can order online, and it's not so bad when the locals are ordering, because you just talk to them every day and go, yeah, still nothing.
Yep.
But then you get people who've ordered from like Norfolk or Edinburgh or whatever, and you don't have that same contact with them. So they're sat there. I had 2 guys who bought faction packs off me online, and they've been sat there for over 12 months with nothing. No, I couldn't tell them every day, still nothing, guys. It must be really hard for people like that. Not fair.
No, it is definitely an unfortunate position, and as much as COVID has been bad for any store, be it wargaming or anything else, right? I think wargaming specifically, because it's such a social thing, has taken a big hit. Especially then we consider that the I'm gonna call it the distribution, but the many factors. Yeah, been a bit of a killer. But yeah, cool. right, all the other normal things, I assume this is just kind of like going through your standard stuff, Kieran, regarding
Getting everyone to
pre-game.
behave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn up, bring yourself, behave.
Don't be a dick.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Official answers is final. Good.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a bone to pick with this one, right? You've gone you've gone for first, second, and third prizes, absolutely reasonable. Best painted model, unit, and army, reasonable. Best general, so the most sporting thing, absolutely fine. You know, the best from Cymru, the best from Wales. What made you go for this best in Wales thing? Is this just because you really wanted to support the local scene, or because you genuinely think the best player won't come first?
Yeah, do you want to take this one, Key?
Ooh. No, it's difficult. It's just just for the Welsh boys. I think this one. We've got some great players in Wales. I think we've got 4 or 5 of us actually ranked in the top 20. So yeah, it's just a bit of banter between the lads, and it's just we'll have a bit of banter. We'll see what happens.
You haven't seen what the prize is yet, mate. So you probably
exactly. Big giant leak or something. You can imagine, can you?
Yeah.
No,
that's good.
It's cool. The reason we really wanted to push it is because we've never had anything like this in Wales. We've never had a GT of this scale, specifically for a Song of Ice and Fire. We do have big GTs in South Wales, absolutely. But to actually bring everyone under one banner, I think, to coin a phrase, is really exciting, really exciting, and it's local for a lot of people. So fingers crossed we'll have a good split of dragons. Would be really nice.
Yeah. I just hope one of them doesn't come first.
This gives me another opportunity to win something. That's all. It's all set up for me. Just give me another opportunity, just in case.
So Kieran, you not only did you build the pack and help set this whole thing up, you're playing in the event as well?
Well, yeah. We'll see. With or without cold hands. We'll see.
Are we going to see a second version of the GT pack here, and a new prize is going to be added in, and it's going to be best player named Kieran?
I think that's still too ambiguous, mate. I think
I'm just going to be banned, and I'll just be licking the windows from outside at this rate. So there we go.
Oh dear, brilliant! And obviously, best in factions, which I'm a big fan of. Best in factions. I think we obviously did it at the GT last year, and the guys in Scotland did it, and it has been done in other events as well. I am a massive fan of Best in Faction. I think it really promotes playing the game with the faction that you love, be that the worst faction in the game in terms of power level or the best. Right? It's just about playing the thing that you want to play, and I think for a lot of players it gives them something to go for, even if they might not necessarily win the event, because let's face it, if you're running neutrals, your chances of winning an event is just going to be so low that it's unlikely. So having that alternative thing to fight for is great. Ilya says, "What's the wooden spoon thing?"
Well, it's coveted, obviously.
Yeah.
A love spoon is a very ingrained part of Welsh culture. Originally, it was the original engagement ring. Lo and behold, you'd carve yourself your lover a love spoon, and that would be your commitment. So, what we thought would be wonderful is, instead of just walking away with a kitchen spoon, you have a beautiful. It's actually going to be a hand carved love spoon.
That is actually amazing.
That's what we do in Wales. If you're losers, you still get beautiful things.
that is actually awesome. Not gonna lie, probably better than first place. The fact that when someone's time, effort, sweat, tears, love has gone into making that thing is.
So mentioning the brother-in-law, he's probably the one I've got to coax in to make that. So there we go.
No, does Sam know yet, Kieran?
And he does know if he's watching. If not, I'm to the family group chat now, begging and pleading.
No, I know that that Lockerbie, for when he did his event online, he was doing basically something very similar for the winning team. He was going to make something, him and his partner, handmade for people. And I actually of the opinion that unique handmade stuff like that as an event prize is arguably better than anything else you can ever give anyone, because even if it's not that amazing, and I'm not saying yours won't be, but it's the fact that someone's put time and effort into making that for you as an individual, and you won that. It is actually nicer than, even if it's a higher monetary value of like a 20 quid, 30 quid box. That's, I can buy that, whereas I can't buy that thing that you handcrafted and put that effort into. So yeah, no, I'm a massive fan of that idea. Actually, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I might deliberately turn up with neutrals just to lose every game and get that beautiful spoon. So yeah, cool. Usual, don't forget, and you've actually got the terrain on the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that in Scotland, when they did the random terrain, I thought was brilliant, is that they had the printouts on each thing, each table.
Yeah, something on the table, yeah. And that's where I got it from. I literally got it from Stephen. So just give a message and be like, that was great, can I nick it? If you notice on the right hand side, I've nicked all that from Tom. Tom talked all that up, so I just grabbed it and stuck it in there. So it's just there for everyone really, isn't it? So
yeah. No, that's brilliant.
Problem.
Hopefully that will get changed in the near future.
Yeah.
With some of those things being released, but we'll see.
That Stark starter set, I think, is en route by the looks of things, isn't it?
Yeah. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, mainly because some of the sculpts in there are quite nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And you get the dice, which blew my mind. I've got the Stark starter set on the shelf right now. I'm looking, do I spend all that money for dice? I don't know.
It might be worth it. All right then. So that is obviously all the prep and everything for the Grand Tournament in Wales, in Pontypool, 16th and 17th of July. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about the event?
There's going to be pizza.
I didn't know that. Happy days.
Why the hell was that not on the front page?
Well, it's part of the lunch provided.
That really generic lunch provided statement.
Absolutely, yeah. We were just going to do cowl, but we'll do pizza.
Pizza sounds good. Awesome. So I look forward to that. I look forward to attending. Is there anything people need to know that isn't in the pack?
Don't know. I think one thing I'd like to do. Go on, Kieran. Sorry.
I was just going to say, just with the travel and locations and the hotels and stuff. Like, I've only literally put the local list of local hotels there, but if you're working backwards from Pontypool, you get Cwmbran and then Newport straight off the M4. They're all within like 25 minutes drive, so they're all close. So don't panic and think they're the only two places you can stay, because there's lots more. And I've got the chat set up now on Discord, so any questions, just hit me up and I'll obviously do what I can to help out. But yeah, that's literally it for me. I don't know if you've got anything else.
There's going to be a few updates going to be happening. So we've got a Facebook event page as well. So we're throwing we will be throwing a lot more chat into that area as well. So if you are even thinking about coming, please look on the Facebook event. It's Here Be Dragons, GT Cymru, whatever you want to search for it, you'll find it. One of the things I want to do is do like a little video run through, like dash cam of where to literally drive. Just try and make it as easy as possible. But just to reiterate, reach out if you're struggling. If you want to come, you're struggling on transport or whatever, just send us an email, get on a chat, whatever. And if we can help, we really will, because we just want as many people as we can to come and enjoy the game. Be great. Show you some Welsh hospitality.
Sounds fantastic. I'm all for it. All right, fantastic. So that's again the Welsh GT. I believe. No, I won't commit to saying this because I don't know. So I won't say anything because Carlo
Wow.
might have a go at me for that one.
What
But
a hanger on that is. What's that all about?
yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
Mystery.
Mystery. But
Where you were going with that one, Mickey? What's going on there?
well, I will congratulate the winner of the Welsh GT now, even though I don't know who it is. But I will give them a forward congratulations. Insert your name here, because there may be something that we might be offering to the winner of the Welsh GT. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I won't go into that because that's something else entirely.
That's a news flash right there. That's awesome.
Know, right? But that's not me to give away either. That's for Carlo to give away. But Kieran can probably work it out. You probably can as well, Luke.
I'm there.
Is it a love spoon?
My lips are sealed. I'm there, but my lips are sealed.
How did you know? I was going to make my own love spoon. Let me just
get your whittling out.
All right then. So that is the Welsh GT, but that's not the only event that's happening in Wales. Wales has got other things going on. It's it's not just a one trick pony. It has you've got the charity event happening, right?
That's not officially in Wales. So to calm the jets there, yeah, but that's actually in Gloucester. So
right.
It's just over the border.
So Wales only has got one thing going on.
Right now.
We've got another event just before the Grand Tournament, but that's okay. That's no problem.
All right. So this is the. I know that you've been doing a huge amount for this for Kieran. The 24-hour charity tabletop gaming event that did in fact get delayed initially. It was due to be start of last month.
In March, yeah.
March.
Yeah.
But I know that fell through with various different things getting in the way, mainly illness.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you wanna talk me through the event? Talk me why you're doing it. Talk me what the plan is, what you're hoping to do. Just give me some info.
So, two main reasons to do the event. The one was to raise the profile of the club, the Injured Barracks Tabletop Gaming Club, and to raise money for good causes. As you can see the two main charities now on the screen: Scottish Little Soldiers and Homes for Veterans. Obviously, I'm a military person, for those that don't know, and yeah, just want to raise money for a good cause. So I came up with this idea of playing Song of Fire and Ice for 24 hours. The format has changed now between now and March, but this is luckily now we've got a Saturday to a Sunday due to timings of getting the community centre. So I'm just literally going to go for a four game back-to-back ELO with some great prizes, and then whoever wants to then hang around and chill out, we'll just play there until 10 o'clock the next morning and play. I'm guessing we're going to get around 6 games in, so like 10 in total over the 24 hours.
Oh wow!
I'm just raising money for charity as we go. We've done really well so far. I think we've £282 at the moment, and we haven't even started. So I'm over the moon. So it's just great, and I've had support obviously from Luke from the shop, NRG lads, other lads who have just contacted me and sent me stuff. So it's been amazing, just the support from the community. So I'm buzzed for it.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, I'm a big fan of the charity events and things. We saw over the lockdown period with the rise of TTS and things in Poland, Furioku / Masara ran some charity events for again kids. I think it was it was all in Polish, if I remember rightly, but it was one kid basically with leukemia or something very similar, and other charities and things for kids and stuff that he put forward money for and things like that, and charity events like that, they did well. I am a big fan of charity events. Why don't you do something you love with the proceeds going towards something that matters? There's a lot to be said there about that. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing, Kieran. Are you hoping to get many players for the event? I don't actually know how many people you've got signed up.
Yeah, so we've dropped the 3 obviously with the change of date. So it's another push for that. It's free. It's 4 games of ELO. So if anyone's in the area, just let me know. Sign up, come down. It's you can see Ross. Ross is good to go. Ross is always there. Bless him. We've got Steve from Gloucester, who's local, and obviously you met Byron. I think the Always Winter Byron. So Byron obviously is a veteran himself as well, so he's just coming along to get involved.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's great. So we've got that event, and obviously then we've got the raffle on the side of that. Where we've got all sorts of prizes, and obviously, as not everyone knows right now, we've actually got Team on official support, which I've obviously sent you the.
Yes, you did.
Will. You're one of like 2 or 3 people that actually know that. So yeah, this week received from Simon official support.
You didn't tell me that arrived.
No, it was a chance.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that came this week. So
I have to say, the Clegane Brigands, not too fussed. Targ Heroes 2, but I mean, Silence Men. That shit's real.
That's all good.
I'm sold on the Vanguard. I'm all good. That's all good for me.
Yeah.
Fair play. Credit's due. There's a lot of. I know, and it's not just Simon. All the guys that supported me. I know Chris has even donated a GT ticket to a raffle winner, so that's still another great prize. It's really.
When we get back to us, Keith, they're not go back to me at all.
Are they not?
No, nothing.
Terrible. That's like no. I'm known now. I'm known.
Unknown individual.
I don't know. To be honest, I've just been very lucky. I know sometimes it can be hit and miss, and I've been lucky. So, yeah.
That's great. 6 boxes as well, but that's awesome.
Exactly. Well, we've got 4 people signed up at the moment, and I won't be taking a box, and Byron won't. So, there we go. We've already got the winner in the second place. A quid's in there, aren't they? So, okay.
Turn up to play a charity event and walk away with more than you donated to the charity. Being like, what the fuck? How does this work? God, Simon are great sometimes, aren't they?
Yeah. So and even if people, if people can't make the event, feel free to make a donation. Any donation, let me know, and then I'll add your name to the raffle, because I've got all sorts there as well. I'll be giving out. It's just brilliant.
Fab. Nah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Cool. So that's the 24-hour charity event happening at Imogen Barracks, which is happening at the end of May. Am I right in saying that that's the stupidly long?
No, it's the week before.
The week before the stupidly long weekend for the Jubilee.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll do the event, guys, and then just enjoy your time off on the bank holiday afterwards. It's like 3 days later. So go, play, donate. It's brilliant. Do it.
Yeah. Definitely. Awesome. All right then. Luke, I will give you your time and your son now. I thought I'd give you a shout out specifically to your store, Duke's Gaming, which is obviously where you're from.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of guessed your name based on I went onto the Duke's Gaming community things on Facebook and was like, this guy Luke seems to post a lot, and I know that it's Luke who's coming on. So put 2 and 2 together, it's probably this Luke Durham guy. Am I right in saying that your nickname Duke comes from Luke, but replacing the first letter with the first letter of your second name?
Only it was that simple, but it's not. Sadly, it is my nickname, but it's not because of my surname. No.
That would have been so much easier for me.
It's something even more banal than that. It's simply because I used to be called Duke Lukem. So the
Sorry, that got me.
that's where it comes from. Duke Lukem.
Duke Lukem. Wow.
And that's a shout out to 651. That is. There you go. 651 for life.
Wow. Crazy. So you're obviously a store based in Wales. I'm going to throw it out there. You're based in Pontypool?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how I worked that one out.
Gotta get one at least. Come on.
And you sell all kinds of stuff, not just obviously a Song Ice and Fire. You are a game store after all, selling loads of great stuff. And you do deliveries, of course, online. Do stuff like that as well. Um, I know we've spoken about different stores in the UK on Tourney Ground. Is there anything you want to say about yours in particular?
That's amazing. So good. Uh, we're still relatively fresh, I think. We've been going for we've been online for 4 years, but we've been a store for 3. And every day at the moment we just meet new people. It's fantastic. It doesn't seem to be a plateau with gamers at the moment. We're bringing new people in every day. In fact, we were speaking previously before how Game of Thrones we've started getting new players in Game of Thrones, which is so exciting. It was the first miniature game we properly got into, Song of Ice and Fire.
There was
We had such a decline of it of late. And I don't know how many tournaments we've run now, Key. We've run so many. And all of a sudden, since we started talking about GT, we're like, oh, this guy down the road plays, and he's got 2 guys that play with him, and we've never seen you before. But come on, it's amazing. It just seems to grow, which is wonderful.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no. We've I remember when I first started coming to the store, there was literally 4 of us. It was me, you, Byron, and Ross.
God,
You know,
man,
and-
it's to get other people and stuff, wouldn't it? Because it is bullying. I'll hands down throw that out.
Yeah.
Come and play. Come and play.
Pain of death.
Yeah.
No.
So we've got a local gamer club, Gwen Reavers, who are phenomenal, really exciting guys, and they've really come into the fold for Game of Thrones, and they've supported us, which has been so exciting. So we've got a few Greyjoy players, we've got another neutral player. We've actually got Baratheon players, which we've never had a Baratheon player in the team before. So we've got 2 Baratheon players. Yeah, it's incredible.
What? You're in the UK and you've never had a Baratheon player. What the fuck?
Exactly. It's all been nice watching Targaryens, for Christ's sake. And then there's me, the Lannister. So
Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Local meta. What can you say?
Local meta.
To be honest,
Sure.
I'm surprised I'm still playing the game, I'll be honest with you. But there we go. Amount of beatings I've taken over the years.
No. It's fantastic. Yeah, great. Do you have any? I mean, obviously, store opening times, I'm guessing, are all on the site. If I can find them.
Yeah. We've got a heavy Facebook presence as well. Instagram. We've done a few YouTube bits and bobs as well. But everything's online. It's all Google. You can see it all on Google as well. We try and keep up to date as possible on there. But yeah, as I say, we're only a little group that's growing, which is exciting. Try and there's Scott there with his little championship trophy. We try and do store championship, you see. So every quarter we do a regular championship where you take away a trophy and first, second, third medals, best painted, blah blah blah. So yeah, we've just had a Blood Bowl one recently, and we've got Warhammer 40Ks on next weekend. But we have also got a surprise Game of Thrones one-dayer coming up, which is something to announce right here, right now, Key, I think. It's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little warm-up. It's not going to be a championship, but it's just going to be a little one-dayer, little 3-round, just to get the blood flowing before the GT. I think it's like, a month before the GT?
Yeah, 18th of June. 18th of June it's in. And we're going to do an ELO just for that, this good variation, and just, that's the main reasons for it, to be honest. But yeah.
Awesome. That's a month out from the GT, acting as a kind of like a get your taste buds ready.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an open one as well, so you don't just have to be Welsh to join that one. You can come in. Yeah, we welcome everyone. We'll even get Steve from Gloucester down. We don't mind Steve.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's great to see events like that pop up. I know that Scotland were looking to do something very similar, where they're just going to do pop up things like that as well. And the idea of store championships. We saw the Dead Meta guys run a store championship this weekend, just gone. And I do think the store championship style ones are really popular, and I think that they are a really good way of encouraging the local community as well to keep up with a game or get into a new game and things like that. So I'm all for it. And bragging rights. Who doesn't want bragging rights?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Ross has got some bragging rights at the minute, and now Steve does as well, from Cardiff. So that's cool. He won our last store championship with his Targaryen list. I think Kieran had the sharp end of it in the final.
Yeah, submarined again. It's the story of my life lately, but
Yours to lose, brother. Such a shame.
Exactly.
No, fantastic. Honestly, fantastic. It is great to see events like that happening, and it's good to see that a store, like yourself saying, there have been kind of going 3 years in the physical world, of which the vast majority has been COVID. But it's nice to see you getting back to tabletop wargaming, and like you were saying before, building those communities back up and actually finding players from the woodworks who've been actually secretly gaming all along, but just didn't tell anyone. So
the rotters, all good.
No, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. All right then. I thought while you're here, because I know you've got to go soon, Luke.
Thank you.
I do need though your opinion, because I haven't got a Carlo this week, on some items.
Oh.
So we have this here. There's some quite nicely painted Champions of the Stag that we see here.
Some wonderful layering on there, isn't it? That's lovely.
I will read that this comes with a bit of fluff as well. So this is not just pictures alone, but I will obviously take us through the pictures as I cover the fluff piece. Each one of the 4 champions represents a different house, with the yellow champion taking on House Baratheon himself. The green represents House Tyrell. Black is House Seaworth. And the blue and white representing House Florent. There you go.
It's just very sexy.
That's me nuts. That's lovely. That's really nice, actually. I'm really impressed by that white.
Yeah, no, the white's good. He's got the not crystal white that you necessarily want, but the slightly off, but not white that you've gone to paint on and hasn't covered something. He's got that good color white that you actually want to represent the cloth, which I think is really nice. And then I'm guessing he dry brushed it, but like the mud effect as well on the capes as well.
That's stippled, dear boy.
Stipplers. Oh, there we go. You see.
Can you just flip it back to the last picture, Mickey? Just have a look at that base. That base is lovely. I mean, that's really nice. Is there another one from the other side, just to see if we?
I only have this one from the other side.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's nice. I wonder if he's positioned those in the specific place to go with the base. I'm assuming it looks really good.
Yeah, have to see. So can we get a strong rating from 0 to 10 for this one?
I would give that a very strong 8.
Wow. Kieran?
I'm just impressed with the layering. Really nice.
It's not Night's Watch, so it's dropped 8 points for me from Luke's 8 because it's not Night's Watch. But
you're such a scumbag.
I am a scumbag, but I love it. I do it. I love all the painting. Every time when people update stuff on Facebook and all sorts, I'm just wowed by it all the time.
I mean, that's freehand on there, for God's sake. Look at it. He's done a freehand stag. What's wrong with you?
Oh, it's amazing, but yeah, not Night's Watch. So there we go. But no, it is amazing. Honestly, it's a work of art. I'm in awe. Slush. There we go. Simple as. So yeah, 0.
0. Strong 0 from you. Yeah. That is the right score, as we know, everyone here. That 0 is the correct score to give him. But Luke's so smitten there that he has to give it an 8. But yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
He's not in on it, is he? He's not in on it, is he?
No, I love the 0. I think it's really it's a lovely bit of fun. But seriously, that dude has done some serious quality work on that, and I think it's only fair that sorry to ruin it.
No, it's absolutely fine. You're a guest. You're a guest, and you're allowed your own opinions, regardless of how wrong they may be.
Yeah.
We'll show you Luke's stuff next week. I'll get some pictures of his stuff, and I'll send them over to you, so you can put them up next week.
Oh, God. Don't do that.
It's all right. anyone who knows the number system also knows that 8 is just 2 zeros next to each other. So clever choice there by Luke.
Well, actually, 8 is the Welsh pronunciation of 0, just in case you didn't know that. So
there we go. We all learnt some Welsh today.
it's complete bollocks.
Right.
Brilliant.
Well, I know that you can only be on for about an hour, Luke. So I will let you get away if you need to get away, and tend to family and other such matters, such as real life.
Yeah, I've got demons to put to bed, I'm afraid, sadly.
All right.
I don't mean cracking open a bottle of whiskey. I mean.
Well, no, I appreciate you massively having you on. All the best with obviously the Welsh GT. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch you in real life if I get to attend.
Really good.
And all the best for the store, of course, as well. And I really hope all the various events you've got running there and the store itself continue to flourish. So.
Well, I really appreciate that. And just on a personal note, the stats is fantastic. It's such a really important tool for the community. I really appreciate all the work that you and Carl's put into it. It's fantastic, and to get a chance to be a part of it like this is really exciting. So thank you very much for your time and patience.
No, I appreciate that, Luke. And I will, of course, pass along the heartfelt thanks to the man who does all the work, Carlo. Yeah, I'll take my fair share of the credit, which is all of it, because everyone knows I do everything here.
Absolutely.
But no, massively appreciate that one, Luke, as well.
Well, all the best, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Don't stay up too late, Kieran. You've got children to look after as well. So.
Yeah.
All the best, guys. See you next time. See you on Planet Call, boys and girls.
Right. He's gone. You know what that means, Kieran?
Then there was 2.
Yeah. It's also time to do the one thing that we said we would never do. Yeah, it's time to talk shit about Welsh players.
How dare you. How dare you. Who's the top ranked Welsh player? Let's find out. Let's do it. Let's look.
Who's the best? Oh, go on. We'll go on. We'll go on and actually have a look at the site.
I know, but I think you should find it. You probably know as well.
Is it you?
No, obviously
no, of course it's not you. I know exactly who it is. And I've got a little story about him, actually, that I wasn't going to tell, but I will tell. So, whoops, I'll come on to that in a minute. That's something else entirely. The best player on stats currently, who is Welsh, or from Wales, the Wales vicinity, is got to be Jacob, right? So Jacob Blaise.
It is, hands down. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great guy.
Yeah,
obviously.
Top lad.
And I actually had the opportunity to play him in a tournament game this weekend. We were playing in the final of Welcome to 2022, which ended up being 5 rounds for most people, but 2 undefeated players after 5 rounds took us to round 6, and managed to get the win over him in that, which was great. In a start versus free folk match. But that does, of course, mean that as of a couple of hours from now, when Tom draws the new round and gets things sorted, I will finally have a cup to my name.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
No, not allowed.
Carlo's already said he's going to take the stat site down when it happens. So
yeah.
This is the last Tourney Ground. Oh, well.
It's just someone's going to hit F5 and it's all going to go to shit.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. When we get some flames, Vision in the Flames releases, hit F5, stats goes, and we get some visions.
Delete.
Who knows?
Just everyone at 4 or simultaneously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Jacob's obviously a great player, and he's a great guy to play against and talk to. I chat with him quite a lot, usually regarding free folk and other things, and he's obviously to be found playing many a game online when he definitely should be revising for his exams that he's got in 2 weeks from now. But alas, us males who play games tend to not be very good at managing other things.
No.
All right. So the other thing I was going to mention, I did kind of like scarily reveal this one, was Lockerbie has given me a event to kind of advertise or mention. which is this one here. It is Overclocked 1, The Stag is Unleashed, happening in Fritzlar in Germany. I have no idea where Fritzlar is. It's near
Europe?
Kassel? It's near, kind of near Dortmund, maybe? No, not really. Halfway between Dortmund and Leipzig. Okay. I don't know Germany that well, can you tell?
Yeah, me either. Here it is.
Exactly. Now, I am led to believe that this event is essentially, but not, it is essentially German nationals. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I say it's essentially, but not. Unfortunately, they haven't got any contact from Simon for organising it as a national event. So at this time, they are not called nationals. But for those of you who are interested, I believe that the name Hardenhauser Hof is obviously the place where it's going to be based. But he was going to call it German nationals, but in German. So yeah, it's in the middle of Germany. It's an event currently capped at 32 players, and they will be playing in an actual castle.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. No, that's not pretty. That is cool. That is cool.
That's just straight up cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just want to see if there's any outdoor shots of it. I really want to see now. But yeah, so this is happening in September. This is around about the time of the GT. And will be happening in Germany and is open to anybody from anywhere. It's a 2-day event, I believe. It's a 2-day event. No, it's just a 1-day event. Apologies. And is designed to really kind of kickstart the kind of like international scene that we've seen come up in the likes of Italy, Spain, and France, and it's starting to try and basically come in as the German equivalent to those.
Good.
Hopefully, it's not a castle. It's a medieval building. Oh, I apologise, Ockerbury. It's not a medieval castle. It's a medieval building.
Oh.
Every medieval castle is a building, right? And every building is a castle.
But it's awesome. I can see the chat here. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it is awesome. So yeah, I really look forward to that. I really look forward to seeing how that one plays out. It's a 32-person event as it currently stands. Lockerbie has spoken about if the demand is high enough that there might be space and ability to expand that out as well. But yeah, I really hope that goes well. I really hope that the German scene get together and, you know, the international players go across as well. I know that of anybody in the community that Lockerbie tries to run awesome events, and he's probably the one person from the international community who I would definitely not want to meet. So there you go. No, I'd actually love to get away and meet him in real life. It is great. He's done some great events online, so getting the opportunity to run in physical, I think, will be great. He's done a lot of events in the past as well for other game systems, so I really look forward to seeing how that all plays out as well. Yeah,
definitely. And the good thing, it news is out early September, so you know he's still got good time to rally the troops, as they say. So no, good luck to him on that. Fair play.
Yeah, for my best part of 5 months out, nearly. 5 months out. So yeah, no, that sounds good. And if people get the opportunity to go and make the trip, I definitely recommend it. Cool. Now, what else have we had going on? Was there any news this week? We haven't done any news so far. Was there any news this week? Oh yeah, War Council got updated.
Yeah. Which one? Test flight? Better? I don't know. All three? Is it Lucky Dip? I don't know. Test flight. I know test flight for iOS wasn't it? I know that because I'm on the iPhone, but
I think the Android beta definitely did because that's the one I currently use.
Okay.
But
was the official one updated? That I don't know.
No,
just the normal.
I haven't. Okay. I've stopped following just the normal War Council.
So yeah, I'm the same. Just test flight, and the better one. Yeah.
We saw a couple of things happen there. It was predominantly Hero Box 3 and Riders of Highgarden get released, along with Karstark Loyalists, all of which you could find, of course, now in the builder. There were a period of time where we didn't have any images. The images have now been sorted and kind of like obtained. And there were some other issues that we've had with TTS and lists loading as well, which we have since managed to fix as well. So there you can go load them up and everything like that. Some people saying that certain things like Baroque's hidden traps and Benjen's hidden traps were updated on War Council. Now, while that is strictly speaking true, they were updated. It is important as a quick reminder that the way War Council works at the moment is it looks at it's got Excel spreadsheets that make up a database basically, and it looks up the keyword hidden traps, which that unit or attachment has been assigned, and then it just pulls that ruling for hidden traps from the database. That doesn't mean that they have the new hidden traps so much as War Council knows they've got the rule hidden traps, so gives them the one that they had. This was the same issue that valuable captive Jamie had alongside Rickon, where it said, Rickon, you get an extra point for killing him, and then Jamie randomly said you get an extra point for killing Rickon, because it was the same rule. Now, I think it's fair to say that we all expected the new hidden traps to be on the new Benjen and Baroque as well. Just the one rule that I can think of. We all expected that change, and it is fairly consistent with the game rules. But to say that a change has been made or they have been updated when added to War Council is not actually, strictly speaking, the right way to think about it. So if you do see something on War Council that has changed, it is most likely an error rather than them changing it and errataing it on War Council. And that's just because they don't use assets anymore. So yeah. Just wanted to make that observation there. It probably, the hidden traps one, not an issue, but there have been cases where that has been an issue. And Scaddman, for you, brilliant news. One of the issues there, which went completely undetected or completely unchanged for a long time, was Ranger trackers were moved to 6 morale.
Yeah.
And they have now been corrected back to 5 morale.
Yeah. All good.
Happy days.
Yeah, can't whinge with that.
No.
Can't whinge. These low morale armies, eh?
I know, right? Low morale armies. Did you think it was weird for a moment that your trackers were slightly less courageous than the rest of your army?
Nah, and no, not with the way things are in the world. You got to double check everything these days, but it's all good. It is what it is. But we can all do better, I guess, at some things. But yeah.
Yeah, it is. Mistakes happen as well. Which is fair. It's just it's such a shame that the app, which has been for such a long time been a source of correct ruling and something that we could all rely on, it's such a shame.
It's just dropped a little, isn't it? It has just dropped a little. It was solid for a good long time. Let's just hope it picks back up. I think that's the.
Well, it's the change.
That's the positive outlook to look at it, I guess. But yeah.
The change, the way they do it with them, they actually build the cards in situ now. They build the card on the app rather than taking the art of the card and just having it as an asset, which actually does make it a lot harder for us as well at our end, because we have to build. If we were to add something like, just as an example, if we were to add something like Riders of Highgarden now, we'd actually have to take a photograph of this, hence the reason the image quality's dropped, or scan it, or we'd have to build it from the assets itself, and building it from the assets is actually very difficult, because one of the things you'd have to do is map the bannering, if you will, for the abilities to the correct sizing, among other things. Fully possible, but it's a lot of effort for what was basically used to just go, right, well, there's the card art, boom, done.
Yeah.
So yeah, frustrating, but something that we'll work with, and certainly something that we are happy to work with. And one of the big things from this as well on the stats site is we've moved away from following War Council releases because of this. So we now have, for example, Ground Men on the site.
Is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler? That they're on the
Technically, they're released, right? I mean, you know, somewhere in the world. But yeah, so we will be doing that now. Before anyone goes mental and being like, "Oh, well, you're gonna add every unit on spoil or on release or anything like that." No, we're gonna add units ultimately when Carlo wants to add them, or when I can be asked collecting images and things for Carlo. You know, if something gets spoiled tonight, we're not just gonna add it into the builder straight away necessarily. You know, that's just.
I think with Durham as well, they are physically out there. It's not just a card that you see. You know, they are people have got them in hand.
Yeah.
The points across the world, so I get it.
Now, on that topic, I know nothing about this next thing, which probably means I shouldn't comment on it, but you know, that whole discussion there. But there was an event happen over in the US this weekend that was not on stats. That was not very talked about. I want to say it was like Gigabyte, maybe, or Overload 2000 or something like this. A store anyway in, I believe, the Minnesota or Maine area. That apparently had the, where are they? The Golden Company Mammoth and Golden Company Swordsman within the prize pool of items to give away. So I believe that the I don't know how the store got hold of them. I have no idea how that came about or anything like that. So I'm guessing those are going to be coming out in the near future, or they have been obtained by other methods, and they will be being revealed maybe soon when somebody spoils them. So look forward to those in the coming week or so. So yes, definitely something to look out.
Out in the world.
Yes, they are out there in the world. We will see in due course if that comes to fruition, I guess. Pardon me. I've got, sorry, just gummed up throat there for a moment. God. There we
go. Don't go man down on me now. Don't go man down on me.
Man down. Just start passing out. God, throat's absolutely gone. Scaddman.
Yeah.
Tell me about your love of Night's Watch.
My love of Night's Watch. That simply was when I went on about going to the store. I had the demo game from the starter set, Starks and Lannisters. Played the game. Just as I'm walking out, Byron turns around and goes, "Oh, by the way, there's Night's Watch and there's Jon Snow in there." From that moment, I was sold. I've pretty much always played Night's Watch. I haven't always played Double Jon, but I've kind of ended up with that reputation now of always playing Double Jon. And back when 2019, I couldn't actually get hold of a starter set, so I pretty much ordered it straight away, and it was out of print. I just remember once I went to a store in Cardiff, and there was actually a box set there. I'd pre-ordered with Luke. Went to the store in Cardiff, and it was there. And I was like, no, I pre-ordered it. It's pretty new to gaming as well, so I was like, it'd be in a couple of weeks. And then 3-4 weeks later, my birthday popped up. I was like, this ain't coming out. And it obviously wasn't like a year and a half until we got another print. But lucky enough, I made that call to that store in Cardiff, and I think I pretty much at the time got the last one in the UK. And I was lucky enough to have it. And the rest is history, pretty much. Just keep playing them. I'm just, I enjoy the faction. I know a lot of people talk about it being easy mode and things like that. For me, getting into gaming and gaming full stop, it was good. It was all right. I understood it, and it did help me along the way. But, I do love the Night's Watch, and I do love Jon Snow, so I'll continue playing them. But I do play other things. It's not just Night's Watch solid. When I go to Luke's store, if we do Elo, I sometimes jump from start the Greyjoys and all that. And now Jon is in the free for God knows what's going to happen. what does the future hold for me? But
I know, right?
yeah,
I've actually got I look. One of the few things that people people say good or bad about any players. I have got zero problem with people sticking with one faction and playing that faction because they enjoy it. There is nothing wrong with that. And if you enjoy playing John, be he. You were playing John before he was good. You were playing John after he was good. I'm not going to begrudge you playing John. That's what you want to play. It doesn't matter how good or bad he is. That's you and you enjoying the game. If you'd have changed to using John after he was made good, I might have gone, are you sure you're just doing it because you enjoy it? But no,
TTS World Cup was the first community thing that I signed up for, and I got my ass banked. I think I went 4-1, well 1-4,
yeah.
And I was just like, well, no, it's the challenge I set myself. I was like, I want to play John, so I'll play him to the best of my ability. So yeah, I've stuck with him, and the changes that have happened, I can't control those.
No.
So it's so I play to enjoy it, and I have done.
There's nothing wrong with everyone having their time in the sun, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no problem with that at all. Hence the reason I can get away playing Free Folk, I think, because I've always played Free Folk, even though they're definitely very strong, in my opinion. All right then. So there was some other stuff I'm going to show up as well. We have got this one here. This is an image that I actually forgot to show last week, and I do apologise to everyone here, especially to Duggars. Our last entry was entered by Dean Rothwell, Littlefinger. This entry entered by Duggars. He's painted up the new mountain model. I think this is one anyway. What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
Quality. I'm actually getting closer to the screen. That's stunning. Fair play.
Yeah. I mean,
he just looks huge. Even like the model itself, it's just a beast of a model, isn't it?
He is. He's massive.
Yeah, it's quality.
He even like the basing there as well with the Lannister sigil and stuff. Yeah, man. Duggars puts work and effort into things. It's unreal.
Some talented lads around. I say lads, everyone. Some talented people around with all their painting. Because that's just, God, I can only wish. I can't even draw Stickman. So when I see these work of arts, I'm just, amazing.
I'm sure you could draw a Stickman.
Probably not. I definitely couldn't. But no. I just again with me because my gaming experience started. The painting started 3 years ago, so I only started like trying to base the annoying. So that was like learning as I'm going, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm proud of like my own what I'm doing. So it's better than great. Yeah.
So there you go, Duggars. Your mountain there. Again, a solid 0 from me. A solid 0 from you, Scads.
Yeah, 0 all the way.
0 all the way. Fab. Now, I did mention another event as well, which I know that I've just been called out for in chat as well from Pidge. There was another event happening over the weekend, and that was the store event that happened at Redcar. Now, I don't have the images to hand, but I will be getting them up in a second, which was the club tournament attended by, I believe it was 10 players, yep. And we saw Adam Harbinson, Harbo from the Dead Meta guys coming in at number 1 with his Free Folk. What a legend. It didn't even run Mance. What an even bigger legend.
I'm just looking, no Mance, I'm looking at Aaron. So we've got John and Offal.
Yeah.
Nigel. Alan. Some known quantities there, isn't there?
Some absolute classics.
Yeah. Bless them all.
Nigel coming in at 4th place there. He'll be massively impressed there. You were playing the buys if someone didn't turn up. Oh, sadness. Absolute sadness. It always is sad when no one turns up or someone doesn't. And having to play against the buy player. But yeah, no, really well done. Obviously, congratulations to Adam as well for winning the event on the whole, and taking home that coveted 1st place prize with the best faction in the world. So yeah, I can say that. That's fine.
I'm not biting. I'm not biting.
Yeah, there's loads of events happening. We saw an event happening in New Jersey at Mythicos, which I believe 14 players attended. And that was won by... Oh, I can't remember who won it. I know Lannisters came fourth. But yeah, there's I can't remember who won that one. I'll have to look it up. It was on the site, but I don't believe they've put all the results in as of yet. I'll double check. They did have some issues initially, yeah. So I think that was one. I'll have to double check, but that was an event that happened in Mythicos in New Jersey. We also had the Training Grounds event that has kicked off. It's actually due to finish later today, which has got 7 players in it by the end at the end of the day. So that's going to be going ahead. Probably get some more people joining that as well. No doubt when Carl updates it. Then we also had, so Carly's saying I should check out the first.
There was a 30-point event, the starter box event, wasn't there?
Yeah, the 30-point first sword of Daventry.
If I'm right, it's like if I know what I'm on about.
This one, the first sword of Daventry happened with 14 players. Let's see how this one shook out. It was Ben, yes, yeah. Ben Harris won it.
Yeah. So 14, that's a good turnout. That's a really good turnout.
Yeah, for a starter box event, yeah, definitely. Some names that I definitely recognise, and actually a lot of names that I don't know, which is good. That's always a really good thing. It means the group is growing. So yeah.
I'm off back at the battlefields now in June the 11th. Graham Nichols came there. I'm sure he's running that event.
Yeah.
He won the last one there. I'm going up for that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, a couple of guys I've seen before, and obviously they're still playing at the building a community, so that's cracking. Mm-hmm. Look at all the commanders. Look, they've all got this. Look, 2 Great John Numbers, 2 Drogos, 2 Jon Snows.
To be fair, it is a 1-list format, I believe.
Oh, is it? There we go. I'll shut up then. I'll shut up.
But yeah, I mean, it's good to see. I mean, it's interesting to see Starks coming in at 1 and 2, and yeah, I mean, do we have every faction represented actually? Yeah, I mean, neutrals obviously don't have a starter box, so neutrals aren't a faction. But yeah, we saw every faction represented by at least one player. But Targaryen, Stark, and Night's Watch actually were the most popular. But Stark won. What? Starks won every game that wasn't a mirror. Holy shit!
It's the new starter box, and then it's literally hopefully out in the next month. Well, by the new stock starter, look at it. It wins events. That is big Great John, isn't it? All wins.
Yeah, that is Great John going 100% win rate. Wow. Jesus. Wow. That's actually mental. And Carly was saying the guy who came last, John faced Drogo, and Drogo with his Jon Snow list. God, that's got to be sad. 3 Drogos in a row. Yeah, no, awesome. That's actually awesome to see. It's good to see that Stark's really doing well in the event, with the only loss that Stark's got was in a mirror, which is nuts.
How many Lannisters? I saw there was obviously, was it just the one?
Just the one, yeah, just the one. Kelvin coming up. Unfortunately, no wins, but close game against Greyjoys by the looks of it, and an incredibly close game against a dual Mormont list as well.
Okay, I just know, just general when I've noticed tournaments, the Stark and Lannister normally get the same entry level percentages. It has done in previous versions, where now with the way the power rankings go, Lannisters have chopped them now. That's still up there, but they're the good guys, aren't they? So.
Yeah, no. Definitely interesting. So for starter box, it surprises me how. I mean, it might just be down to the players, but it surprises me that they didn't pick a single loss up. But yeah, no, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's actually have a stop by the power rankings quickly. We've seen, so the game really at the moment at the top end is Night's Watch, Brathians, Targaryens, and Free Folk all in close level, which is good. The balance between those four factions is strong. Greyjoy are not far off the mark as well. Starks have been struggling. They've made their comeback. Obviously, we talked about Lannisters, and we do need to talk about neutrals. Okay, Kieran, I don't know if you saw the stats that Carlo put together for April earlier today. Do you know the win rate of neutrals in April?
Do you know what? It popped up, but I didn't really look at it. That's really bad of me saying it. Was it 20%? Something like that. 20% maybe?
25%.
I'll take that. I'll take that as a guess, but no, it's yeah. How many times have they played? 4. So yeah, even like every month the amount they've played has gone down as well.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah, I mean, I'm not actually joking at all when I say now that I've won an event with Free Folks, strictly speaking, the first event I've ever won, I am actually going to transition to playing neutrals. I have neutral boxes galore physically as well, which I managed to pick up at a bargain at Redcar. And I'm going to give neutrals a try because I don't believe that they're good. I do believe that they are not particularly great, but a 25% win rate across all games is god awful. You can account for within 10%, roughly speaking, but 25% is bad.
yeah. No. Yeah.
I guess I'm going to ask you the difficult question.
They need I think they need a 4-point unit. I think more NCUs, 4-point unit.
Neutral only 4-point unit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's sad the way it is, because they got the Flame Men. Everybody's usually after the Flame Men and whether this, give or take. But yeah, I think obviously with Tycho going up a point, that's hurt them. That's hurt everyone, but it's hurt neutrals more.
Did you? There's a really strange one you mentioned there, Kieran. Tycho going up a point. Do you want to know something really interesting?
Yeah.
Right? Tycho going up a point's a bad thing, right? It makes him harder to play.
Because I'm just thinking of he was top by far, wasn't he? He was the most picked NCU in the last. He was top, top of the shop. But you know what? We'll see. I'm going to wait until we see where he is.
Where do you think he is in terms of the rankings? For NCUs?
Maybe bottom to top 10. I don't know, because of that extra point. Because there are some cracking 4-point wins.
Mm-hmm. What if I just filter by NCU? He is 4th on the list. So, believe it or not, Arya and Wendemir are the biggest gainers so far in 2021. But Tycho, the initial drop that he had, Tycho's been winning games. Baelish, to nobody's surprise whatsoever, is in the top 10 as well. But Tycho,
top, yeah.
He has a relatively low play rate. His win rate only sees about 50%. But like we saw before, his win rate in 2021 was only 44%, right? Because the way we measure the data, he wasn't winning literally all the time, but he was winning a lot. He was by far the highest rated NCU in the game. And the change has actually seen him still winning equivalent numbers of games. Now, April was a very low play rate at 9 compared to the 20s he was getting in previous months. But yeah, winning games with Tycho.
It's a trigger, innit? Start of any turn, isn't he? He's any turn, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's when shit hits the fan, he's there, isn't he? So, I get it. But
his number of games is way down Terra. That is the thing. And yeah, and Abiscus kind of sums up really well in chat. Neutrals can't really exist as a faction to begin with. There's a benefit to taking pure neutrals, I agree. But the big thing is that, Tycho going to 5 doesn't actually impact other factions that much. If they really want Tycho, they still take him. Whereas actually the biggest impact it has on neutrals is because they're now fucked for 4-point NCUs if you want to take their best commander for Roos. You can take Baelish, sure, for 4. You can take what's his house for 4?
I'm thinking
Walder.
Yeah.
But Walder's not a good 4-point NCU. I'd add. Well, he's actually been doing quite well, but he's not a proactive 4-point NCU. And then aside from that, your options are super limited. You don't have anything. So if you're taking Roos Commander, you're forced into a 5-point NCU, and not being able to take a 12-point NCU build is difficult. So yeah.
Well, there's one with Varys as well. Does he ever see play?
Varys?
Nobody ever. Varys, no. He's like the forgotten entity now.
Varys actually, yeah. So Varys, let's find him on the list. He's not that far down, if I remember rightly. Maybe I'm wrong. I just remember seeing him quite high. There we go. So Varys, as it currently stands, only sees say a relatively low pick rate, and he's had an abysmal win rate in the last month. Really bad. 18%'s god awful over 11 games. But he's seeing a comfortable 50% win rate in the other 2 months so far since the patch. His pick rate is low. But pick rate here obviously is it's a little bit misleading because it's like the number of neutralists he appears in makes a massive difference to his pick rate. So don't read into people's pick rates for neutral NCUs, because neutral NCUs are not a particularly reliable guess. I know that Teddy said Tycho pick rate is 70%. That's 70% of neutral lists. So just needs to be aware of that one. But or it might be 70% of all lists, can't remember. But yeah, just be aware of that one with when we talk about pick rate. But yeah, the healthy win rate for Varys in the last 2 months, not so much in this most recent. Yeah, I think he's good. I think Varys is good. People sleeping on Varys.
Yeah, he has value. He's got value in his points.
But yeah, should we have a look? I'm just curious now. I wasn't going to dive into the stats today, but I want to see what the worst NCU in the game is.
No.
Shira. Who is Shira, Errol?
I was going to say, never heard of her. Never heard of her.
Who the hell is she? Because she's shit.
Is she? Yeah, true. Oh, Walder.
Yeah,
Walder's right down there. Eric Ironmaker.
Walder's low play rate and not a great win rate. Had an okay month last month, and February wasn't terrible, but yeah. Eric suffers. Eric has a lot of games, but he doesn't actually win games. I don't actually think Eric is a big deciding factor in those lists, and we talked about it before. How Greyjoys just seem to suffer. They don't actually do as well as people would think that they should do. Which is, a big shame. But Eric appeared in so many lists. He appears in so many Greyjoy lists. It's unreal.
I think in simple terms for me, you take Eric or you take another Bowman unit. It's one or either at the moment. That's what I've seen. Other people do different things, but that seems to be. You take 2 Bowman, they sometimes leave out Eric. If they take one, they take Eric.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an interesting set. I think Arya. I like to see Arya up there. Arya, who received a massive buff with the basically doubling of her ability, so it's 2 times rather than 1. And yeah, seeing that change is good. Given that she's now the strongest beast in the game, it shows you that the buff was somewhat warranted, but also it shows you that balance is a very difficult thing to get right.
Yeah, definitely. Rather than me. Rather than me.
Mm-hmm. So, we will return to the goodness that is, whoops, if I load the right page, looking at events. And we'll look at what events we've got coming up. So we have, in the next coming weeks, an event in Pruskow, Poland. This is happening this weekend, as well as the May Clash of Members for Chelmsford Bunker. I really hope that one goes well.
That's an event now, isn't it? That's literally every month now, isn't it? They're smashing them in, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And they're getting good turnout. You know, the 16 players but they're getting close to that limit every single time, which means that the community there is going strong and maintaining itself. And you know, it's good to see that area grow more. There are players in the London area as well that have been asking about not so much Colchester side, which is the Essex side of London, but you know the Surrey side and the Berkshire side of London as well, looking for games. So seeing the area down south growing is always a positive for me. We have another event happening in Brunswick, Ohio. It's happening on the weekend as well as the next House of Orcs happening on Sunday. Another event in Poland. Where would we be without Polish events? Another Bolter event happening in Podvale, Wroclaw on Sunday. And another Spanish event happening in Santander on Sunday as well. And another event in Italy on Sunday in Teramo. Can't say I heard it. And another event in Poznan, Poland on Sunday. And another event. This is at the Bad Moon Cafe, the Great Dover Street in London. The Prance of Pragons, a Song of Ice and Fire game day. So if you're in London, talk about the area there on the Sunday, go down to Bad Moon Cafe for a day of games, I'm guessing. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 events happening over the weekend.
That's amazing. Poland are smashing them out.
They are.
Smashing them.
Polish are mental. Like, I actually think the Polish run, on average, an event and a half every week.
Mental.
Which is crazy. But yeah. Cool. Well, we'll I think we'll end it there for this week. Surprisingly enough, we'll go for a short one. It makes a break, and makes a break from change. I can do other things with my life, as can you, Scaddman.
Yeah.
But I will leave this one up here, because I've been sent another image yet again. Another one from Duggars. He's painting up she-bears in yellow, like Clegane's. What it looks like to me. Looking good. I don't have words for that. It's just looking good, Duggars. Keep it up. Lots of images today. Love it.
I love it, yeah. Yeah, that's cracking. Don't reckon as well. He's cracking with his base. That's tidy. Amazing work, honestly. Goes my mind. Can't wait to see them all. When they're out. That's an exciting thing to see them play as well. You know, it's a big thing as well for me. But I remember I was at the Always Winter GT and I went up to start writing down. You know, you get the piece of paper to write people's names on there. Mm-hmm. So I was just about to do that, and then Craig grabbed me and let me know that Duncan was doing it. So there was me thinking I was getting a vote, and Duncan was doing it now, so I didn't get a chance to vote. But yeah.
It's alright. You get a chance. Time. You get a chance.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe at the Welsh GT. I'll just get it in a player pack. But yeah, I'm deciding who wins best painted. There you go. Job done.
Have you? It might be worth. I mean, it's difficult. It might be worth you dropping a message to Duncan if you wanted to see if he wants to do it. Of course, you know, you're welcome to do it yourself. You know, but yeah, I'm sure. If you drop a message, he might say yes. He's a lovely guy and he loves it. So.
I did see his Instagram this weekend, or I think it was today. He'd been out doing some, Napoleonic shooting, dress up army Civil War thing. But yeah, it looked amazing. But it's fair play, good on him. So, but thank you very much for having me on the show. This has been amazing. It made my day and my week, and it's only Monday. It can only go downhill from here. So,
you make it sound like we're some kind of like amazing place that fulfills everyone's dreams.
Exactly. Keep positive, innit? Keep positive. Keep positive.
Well, no. Massive pleasure, Scaddman. Massive pleasure to have you on there. Just gonna go and have a look and make sure you've been playing lots of Jon Snow. You have. Good man.
Yeah. No, I even played Offal. Even had a go at Offal.
Is he any
That
good?
was the TTS. That was because I didn't know if we were going to get Heroes 3, and I wanted to try Heroes 3, so in the end I just chucked it off the list to go there to try out. But yeah, a really good game last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was good fun, and I thought I'd try out Manister as well. So,
Yeah.
nice little setup when you got him going and you got the little watch marshal behind and you roll in 10 dice.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Good fun. Good fun.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, we'll call it there for today. Thanks a lot for coming onto the show, Scads. It's a pleasure to talk to you as always. And I really hope the event, just both the Imaging Barracks event happening at the end of the month, and that the event, the one in July, I was about to say, not the right one, the Welsh GT, goes really well.
GT Cymru. There we go.
GT Cymru. I hope they both go really well, and I really hope to see you in an event soon.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. I'm always on about. I can't make it because obviously Carlo's got his 2-day as well, hasn't he?
yes.
But I'm off to France for the week, so I've got no chance of getting up there.
That's all right. Don't worry.
I know it's the way it goes, but yeah, I'll see you at the next one. We'll go.
Definitely.
Cool.
And with that, guys, I will finish off with the thing that Carlo would absolutely kill me if I didn't mention it. War for the Wall is happening. War for the Wall 3 happening in Durham in a couple of weeks' time. That's the 14th and 15th of May. We've got a few people signed up. Do feel free, if you've got time, come down. There's going to be, a lot of players from the Dead Meta guys, the NRG guys, obviously myself and Carlo, the guys that we game with, and, some other people from the local area. So if you do get the opportunity to come up, play a game in Durham in a very old building, it's a very, very old building, and just enjoy a weekend of games. And the winner, of course, going away with a slot to the Invitational. Do come down. Really hope you enjoy it. And, yeah. I will catch you all again next week, where Carlo will no doubt be back, and we'll be talking about some more stuff, I hope. And we'll catch you again later. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers, bye.
Ready, aim, release! Anyone see my mammoth?